Why the Raptors couldn't stop the Golden State Warriors. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors just faced off against the Toronto Raptors, and the Warriors ended up winning 129 to 117. So it started to look like the Warriors are going back to their winning ways, but in today's video, we're going to be going through 5 reasons why the Raptors couldn't stop the Golden State Warriors and why the rest of the NBA should be absolutely scared. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. And if you don't have NBA League Pass but want to watch Golden State Warriors games for less than a cup of coffee, don't forget to join my Patreon where you can watch every Golden State Warriors game anytime, anywhere. The first is the Golden State Warriors have brought back their small ball lineup. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors have ran a small ball lineup last season that honestly changed the NBA. However, this season they haven't ran it so much until just recently, where they tried it out against the Memphis Grizzlies, which they got the win in, so they decided to do it again against the Toronto Raptors. Now, Kevon Looney did start. However, when it came to the later times during the game, we actually had DiVincenzo and Jonathan Kuminga make up more minutes than Kevon Looney. And I think this small ball lineup has definitely helped this team tremendously. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors actually ranked number 1 in pace, so they are the fastest team out of all 30 NBA teams, and adding a small ball lineup honestly just made them faster. Now, when it comes to this lineup, we've seen it happen, especially against Memphis, where they had Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, sometimes Kuminga or Andrew Wiggins, depending on who's injured or who's actually healthy to play. But in this game, they honestly did a fantastic job, because we not only just had fast-paced basketball, but we also saw Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, and even other players such as Jonathan Kuminga score more rather than just focusing strictly on Steph Curry. Now, don't get me wrong, Steph Curry can drop 40, 50 points if he wanted to. However, when it comes to proper NBA basketball and winning an NBA championship, it's not great to have one main scorer and have him score every single point. And that's something that the Golden State Warriors have truly built. What makes the Warriors so special is that all 5 players on the floor can score at will, and it really keeps a lot of opponents guessing on what to do on defense. And I think that's what makes them so special and what's helping them win more games and also win an NBA championship at the end of this season. Now, Steph Curry did still drop 35 points in this game, but however, you had players like Klay Thompson drop 29, and you also had Kuminga who had 15 and DiVincenzo who had 12, and also Jermichael Green who also hit double digits. So there were a lot of players that were hitting more in the double digit figures on points, and I think that had a huge effect when it comes to what the small ball lineup has really done for this team, and it really does push the pace even further. Now, the Golden State Warriors, even though being ranked number 1 in pace, you definitely saw, especially in the last couple of games, that they were getting more field goal attempts per game, especially during the fact when they implemented the small ball lineup. And I think that is going to continue. The more shots you get up, especially against a Warriors team like this, is definitely going to cause a lot of disaster for the other team. So that's why I think what the Warriors have built when it comes to this small ball lineup, I definitely think they should continue to do it. A lot of teams as well are starting to move more into small ball, and Draymond Green honestly does a fantastic job at being able to guard the 5-man, whether he's 6'8", 6'9". Draymond Green has done a great job on defense and being able to stay in front, and that's something about his game that is very special, and that makes this small ball lineup work really well. The second is Dante DiVincenzo playing a bigger key role. Now, Dante DiVincenzo, I've always said, has honestly been such a great pickup for the Golden State Warriors, and so far this season, he's currently averaging 8.2 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 3.1 assists, which is not bad, and a lot of Warriors fans did really expect more from him due to the fact that we lost players last season, such as Otto Porter Jr., JTA, and also Gary Payton II. But DiVincenzo over the past couple of games, especially implementing small ball, has definitely seen him really prosper and really become something special. If we look at his most recent game against the Toronto Raptors, he actually dropped 12 points, 11 assists, 3 rebounds, and also 2 steals. And he did everything out there on the floor, guys. If you really watched the game, you really saw Dante DiVincenzo come into his way. He moves very smooth out there with the rest of the lineup, whether it's with Steph, whether it's Klay or Poole. He really does complement them very well, and he does a fantastic job on offense, whether it's scoring inside or even shooting outside. If you look at his 3-point attempts for that game against the Toronto Raptors, he actually shot 2 from 5, which was really good. So great percentages that would let Golden State Warriors are happy about. And on top of that, the fact that he can provide 12 points off the bench, a lot of assists, and also a couple of rebounds and steals are honestly fantastic for DiVincenzo. And that's definitely what a lot of NBA fans and especially Warriors fans have wanted from DiVincenzo for a long time. This is something Gary Payton II did very well, and why a lot of Warriors fans absolutely loved and fathomed over Gary Gary Payton II and how he was a key role, and I think DiVincenzo is now finally finding his way in that. DiVincenzo, not only in just that game, but also against Memphis, did a fantastic job, and I think he will continue to play at such a high level due to the fact that he is getting more minutes and he's getting put in a position where he can actually prosper. If we look at the most recent game against Memphis, he actually had 8 points, also had 4 rebounds and 2 assists, and also 1 block. So he did a fantastic job, especially playing 30 minutes. But on top of all that, guys, something that doesn't show up in the stat sheet is definitely DiVincenzo's on-ball defense. His on-ball defense really caused a lot of havoc, especially against the main Raptors game, where he was switching between guarding Van Fleet, Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent. He could really guard any one of them, and that was causing a lot of problems for the Raptors, which is why the Warriors ended up taking that win very, very easily. The third is Steph Curry focusing on getting more assists. Now, as you all know, Steph Curry has been shooting lights out on offense, and do not get me wrong, a lot of NBA fans love to see that. So currently, so far this season, he's averaging 29.3 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 6.2 assists. Now, this is really good, but if you look at the averages, guys, he's actually achieved a higher assist rate in other years than he is this year, and this is kind of more on the lower end of assists when it comes to the 2022-2023 season. And this is definitely affected the Warriors in the past, as he's ending up dropping 40-50 points a game and he's putting up some great numbers. However, the Warriors still end up losing, and it seems like Steve Kerr has definitely changed the game plan because he's looking to get Steph Curry to make more assists out there, and it's definitely taken a great effect on the team. If we look at the most recent game against Raptors, you saw a lot more players hitting double digits in scoring that you have never seen before, especially this season with the Warriors. Now, they were struggling at the start, but as you guys can see, when Steph Curry is getting more assists, it definitely has a huge impact on whether they win or whether they lose. If we look at some of the points, Kevon Looney had 12, Steph Curry had his 35, Klay Thompson had 29, which is a game we haven't seen in a while, especially with Steph out there. Jordan Poole almost hit 10 points at 9 points. We had Kuminga, who had 15, Jermichael Green, who had 10, and also DiVincenzo, who had 12. And Draymond still scored 5. So that is very good to see, and I think it is fantastic to see, a lot more of the scoring being distributed throughout the board, and that definitely leads to Steph Curry getting more assists. When Steph is out there, it's definitely that all the focus is on him, and he's going to be getting doubled, maybe even triple teamed at times, whether he's on the 3 or whether he's driving into the lane. And if Steph Curry plays it wisely, he will be able to, take advantage of that and find the open man. And having players around you like Klay, Poole, Wiggins, Kuminga, DiVincenzo, the list really does go on and on, that are honestly knockdown shooters on the 3, it honestly becomes a recipe for success. And that's why we saw Klay Thompson, especially in this game against the Raptors, he actually had 29 points. He went 6 from 14 from the 3, and he went 11 from 24 in the field goal. So he did a fantastic job, and that's why I think Klay Thompson can continue to be another splash brother if Steph Curry continues to find him while all the attention is on Steph. So I would prefer to have Steph dropping 30 points a game and getting 11 assists rather than him having highlight numbers of 45, 50, and getting no assist and no win. Winning is what is going to help this team make the playoffs and win the NBA championship, and that is definitely something that is on Steph Curry's mind for the future. The fourth is the increase in game time for Jermichael Green. Now, Jermichael Green has definitely been an underrated signing so far for this season, because he's currently averaging 6 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 0.7 assists. But we have definitely seen Jermichael Green get a lot more minutes due to the fact that they are moving to that small ball lineup, and it's definitely seen Jermichael Green get more minutes out there. In the most recent game against Raptors, he actually had 16 minutes, which was really good to see. But on top of that, he also had 10 points and 6 rebounds in 16 minutes, guys. If you look at that, that is very, very efficient. And on top of that, his shooting was also efficient as well, where he shot 1 from 3 from the 3-point and also had a field goal of 3 and 5 and free throws of 3 and 3, which is really good to see. But when it comes to Jermichael Green, he has done a fantastic job of being into that role that he has actually been requested to be in, and he's done a fantastic job at that. He's getting 6 rebounds, 10 points in 16 minutes, and those are type numbers that they definitely need off the bench if they want to win an NBA championship. Like we mentioned before, a lot of the new signings this year are definitely supposed to be replacements of other players. DiVincenzo is supposed to replace Gary Payton II, and now Jermichael Green is supposed to replace someone like Otto Porter, and he's done a fantastic job at doing that. When we look at his scoring and also his rebounding, it's definitely, a lot like Otto Porter Jr., which what he provided off the bench, and the fact that Jermichael Green can also do that in a little amount of time of 16 minutes, it shows that with this small ball lineup and the small small ball rotations that they're running, Jermichael Green is definitely starting to flourish and get into his ways. The fifth is Kevon Looney accepting his role. Now, like we mentioned before, obviously with small ball, Kevon Looney isn't going to be getting the same amount of minutes. He may be starting, but when it comes to closer to crunch time, it may look more of small ball where he's sitting on the bench. However, Kevon Looney has definitely taken this role very seriously because he's honestly being still so effective even for the amount of minutes that he's out there for. If we look at the most recent game against Raptors, he actually had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, while also shooting 6 from 7 from the field goal and only having 23 minutes in that game. So he did a fantastic job for using the amount of minutes that he got up there. DiVincenzo actually had more minutes out there than him, and Kevon Looney honestly did a really good job. Kevon Looney so far this season is averaging 6.6 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 2.8 assists, and I think he will continue to do such a great job and continue to push further, even though they are going with a small ball lineup, probably, while this is still working for them. But Looney, for the time that he is out there, he's being very efficient, and that's definitely something that the Warriors team is looking for, and he's done a fantastic job at being successful at that and doing it at a very high rate. Now, since this is Jermichael Green's first year with the team, I think he really has provided a lot of veteran experience, which is something that this Golden State Warriors team definitely need, especially coming off the bench. He's really helping run that second unit, and the mixture of him playing with first unit and second unit have really done wonders, not only for this Warriors team, but also for each individual player. He's not only a playmaker, he can also rebound, he can also shoot, he can pretty much do everything out there like Otto Porter Jr., and I think that's what makes him super special and what makes him a very valuable player in this Golden State Warriors roster. So it's looking all up for the Warriors for the future, and I do think they can win an NBA championship at the end of this season.